Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this podcast. And to welcome our guest today, Mr. Tayo Elegbede, thank you so much for accepting the opportunity to share your story with us. I am sure that we're going to learn a lot from what you have to share with us today. So let's just get into it and start with why did you move to the UK? That's always our first questions to kind of understand the journey that you kind of took to get into the UK so that that then forms the background for the other conversation we're going to have.
Right. For me, why did I move to the UK? Well, first of all, thank you for having me on this the Better Tribe podcast. And I hope my story will possibly, well, positively again, impact on people hearing it and be able to, make their own decisions based on the tiny knowledge we're able to pass today. So to answer the first question, why did I move to the UK? My journey to the UK. Um, why not? Yeah, I think the very first um plan I had was to, do something else in terms of, get a better degree, get upgrade my degree back because I studied a Unilag, back in 2006 when I started my degree there, and it was quite good. It wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to study medicine for some reason. I don't know why. And
It's never
then
too late.
then, then I was given quantity survey. You know how they do it in Nigeria. They just slap something else for you. And I was like, nah, well, that's fine. I'm just gonna do it anyway. Then, I did it and I wasn't interested initially. Then I started picking up on it and I was like, yeah, yeah, that's fine. At least, Um, then whilst working, I noticed there was some form of obviously I graduated, then started working. I worked for a contracting firm at some point, then I moved to consultancy, which gives you the actual nitty-gritty of the quantity surveying industry and the practice as well. Then I noticed that there was something actually missing in there. At that time, that was when BIM was being, flaunted everywhere. Oh, BIM is the next thing. BIM is the next thing. BIM building information in modeling, design, construction, and operation. At that point in time, I thought, actually, this might be a good opportunity for me to first of all run away from Nigeria. Secondly, get a good degree. You know, um, Obviously my siblings were here and all that, so I had more insights in what the day to day looks like and what's happening. So I jumped on that trail and I got here 2015, and it was quite different. I thought, I was like, this is I noticed that you get the basics. Just if you are able to do the bare minimum, you will
Mm,
have the basic of life, basic needs of life. Then I
mm.
thought to myself, man, I don't think I'll ever go back to Nigeria because this is a dream come true. You wake up, you flip the switch, it goes off, you flip it back on, comes on. You know? And I'm
Some
like,
of the things we take for
some of
granted,
the things
eh?
you take for granted, and I'm like, wow, this is a miracle. And I thought, what? How can I, you know, move into this place? And I started doing a little bit of research. I literally at every opportunity I had, um, within my master's degree, try to get somebody, one of the lecturers, listen, I've got the skills in quant surveying, but this beam that you're teaching us, it would be good to see how everything fits, that thirst. And luckily for me, I eventually met one of my lecturers that actually gave me an opportunity of who I'm, everly grateful for. And that opportunity that I had back in 2016 was the one that actually made a way for me actually practicing the quantity surveying that I thought it wasn't what I wanted to do in Nigeria, but God has his way of, planning things. And eventually I'm working my way through life practicing quantity surveying here in the UK. So why did I come? I think I came for a good life. I came for betterment of life. I came for, for the best things I can be as a person because Nigeria doesn't really give you that opportunity. You wake up to the same thing, trying to hustle in, hustle out. And if you are lucky, you pass the police checkpoint without being harassed. But here, you have sanctity of life. Everything is sane. Your kids, you can literally direct your kids to what they want to do in their own destiny, in their lives and all. I think this is one of the things why I am here.
Great, great, great. So I'll start calling you aspiring doctor now. Knowing that
That time was gone.
it has gone.
Was good.
You can't be that there's different ways of becoming a doctor.
Yeah,
There's
no,
doctor of medicine and doctor of other things. So
yeah.
yeah, it might be something on the horizon, given that you
No,
wanted to study med
we've got
medicine.
we've got one doctor in the house already.
Exactly. Okay.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, good. One is enough. So thank you so much for talking about your why you moved. Because I think a number of conversations I've had, one of the things people move for is to um propel their career, to
Mm,
upgrade what they already know.
mm,
Which I think is a good thing to move for.
mm,
One of the things you also said is around finding the right people to talk to guide
mm,
your path,
mm,
which I think is a critical thing because I know a lot of people come into the UK and go through the education route and they don't maximize the opportunity of the
mm.
network they
Yeah,
create in that
yeah,
space,
yeah,
which can make or break your journey in the UK. So thank you for highlighting that point.
yeah.
So we're just gonna, you said, you moved in 2015, so that makes you 10 years.
10
This
years.
year it's been 10
Wow.
years already. So
10
can
years,
you
just like that.
can you talk us through, from university up to now, what has been your career journey? What are the things that you've done, the things that you're doing, just so we can have an idea of how your career has morphed
Yeah.
over the 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, I can start from the very beginning from, back in Nigeria, I was I think an assistant quantity surveyor back there at the consulting firm. Then when I moved there, obviously trying to get something in, I first of all did a little bit, and one thing that got my feet in the door is volunteering,
Mm,
doing, trying to catch people's attention and more like a give and take scenario
mm,
where, you do things for free, but what you're getting back is a whole lot of experience on how things work here in the UK because the way we practice conserving in Nigeria is quite different from how it's been practiced here. Here
mm,
they go by the books. They go through the main stuff, the crux of things in quantity survey. Apologies for my friend.
it's
And
okay.
they go through how it is meant to be, the way we've been reading in the books. So when one of the lecturers gave me a chance, he dialed up one of his friends that was a project manager and asked if he had a place for somebody just to come into the company and I got lucky because, well, I'm blessed. I got blessed because that was one of the top companies in the UK. Well, that has now folded up, unfortunately, ISG PLC. ISG at that time was tier one contractor where, they were winning all the projects. They even built the Faculty of Business and Law within the University of West of England
Mm,
back at the time that is standing strong. And in the same unit, I went there and he was like, "Oh, yeah, your lecturer said, you wanted to." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I don't mind." They said, "Yeah, just come in whenever you want to." You know, I was going there. Obviously, I had dissertation at that time. I was going there, let's say once, in 2 weeks or once every week. I was just trying to make sure that they saw my face constantly. And
Mm,
anytime I go there, I drop everything I'm doing in terms of my personal self and go around the whole team. So is there anything you want doing? Is there anything you want doing? Can I help you with it? Can I help you? Yeah. So everyone knew me like, so, this guy, at the end of the day, I wasn't paid for it. And at the end of the day, the project manager told me that, listen, when you're done, let me know when you want to finish. I know you're running your dissertation, but let me know so that I can type out a reference for you that you've worked
mm,
here. Do you know what that means? That means it's going to say this guy worked here and that's it. Nobody can tell me, I will ask me, were you paid? Or, were you doing this part-time? He typed it out and even signed, giving me that opportunity, take it anywhere I go for my interview.
mm,
And an opportunity came where I interviewed for my first role. And I had to go from the bottom as a graduate quantity surveyor. So when I went there and the guy was checking my CV, my first job, it was like, okay, you worked in Nigeria. Oh, ISG. Oh, did you work in ISG? I was like, yes, I
mm,
worked in
mm,
ISG. They were like, wow, wow, that's a good company. I was like, oh, what did you do? I told them, yeah, did this normal QS stuff that you would know as a proper QS.
mm,
And I told him, like, wow, okay, okay, we'll get back to you. In fact, before I go home, I already got the call that I can start working. That was how I got my first job. And when I got into my first job, you know, because I told myself I wasn't never in my life going to do anything care or anything outside what I don't want to do because I had a focus and I was able to achieve it by the grace of God. You know, two a month after when I started work, they noticed that hang on, this guy is not a graduate. Look at all the things he's doing. So they bumped me up, salary wise, everything, bumped me up from graduate to quantity surveyor straight. Just so everyone understands, the way the route works is that graduate quantity surveyor, then you become an assistant quantity surveyor, then you become a quantity surveyor, and the timeline for that step is literally meant to take you around 2 years.
mm,
2 years within a proper structured company because you do your PDRs a year. They'll be like, okay, well, what have you achieved? This is what you're gonna achieve next year. Let's see what you achieved. Did you achieve them? Okay, I think you're good. Let's
mm,
follow to the next line. Assistant conservator, you do your PDR again. So minimum of 2 years, you know, and I was able to get that. Then from there, I've moved roles. I've moved roles. The next job I had, I was able to demand more, obviously, salary because I know, well, I was given a lead quantity surveying role. The next one I had, I was given a more lead role until when I got to a place where, okay, I think I'm good now. Let me reach out for more. So that was when I started reaching out for senior quantity surveying roles, managing quantity surveying roles, where you sit down with the arms of the people that are directing the team, owning your own team to structure on with your projects. Then I was able to get on there. I was able to go through membership of the CICES, which is Chartered Institute of Civil Engineering Surveyors. I was able to go through the likes of RICS as well, Royal Institute of Chartered Quantity Surveyor or Surveyors, as it is RICS. And I'm enjoying every bit of the process. But if I had stopped searching at that point in time for an opportunity to have my foot in the door, I don't think I
mm.
would have achieved where or gotten to where I am now, by the grace of God, obviously. And yeah, and I'm still pushing further up to, pushing for, I've obviously had opportunity to, create my own company, consulting company, Samuel Group. We're quantity surveyor consultancy. We've worked with the light of big companies. I think recently we worked with, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, which is the main central office in London, where they did a very massive construction project, over £2 million. We consulted for them. And, I was given that opportunity because, there's something that I carried through volunteering. That's a story for another day. The act of volunteering is very, very strong. And I'll urge people to try as much as possible to volunteer for things, do things out of nothing, and and see what God is gonna do. I got that consultancy job through an act of volunteering as well. And I've branched obviously to different spheres. I've not even got it to where I am. We have Nisa Creative, which is our, interior decor where we're doing wonderful things. Wonderful things. I know why you're laughing, but
Yes, I
doing
do. I
wonderful
do. I've
things.
experienced some of those wonderful things.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
recommend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm speaking to one of our clients, which is, our awesome client. Yeah, and yeah, that's just my journey, for this 10 years. I think within that 10 years, obviously, I was able to, meet my wife, I have some my own kids, branch out to different type of investments, try to get things running, real estate, doing things. The good thing about this country is there's opportunities
Mm,
everywhere.
mm.
And if you do things right, don't cut corners because it doesn't worth it. Don't cut corners, go through things legitly. There are people that are living and making a whole lot of wealth in this country,
Legitimately,
legitimately.
legitimate,
That word just stuck in my head for some reason.
legitimately.
Legitimately. And you know, don't be under pressure to make something out of nothing. Trust the process and take your time through the process.
Thank you so much for explaining your journey. I think one of the key things for me is around volunteering.
Hmm.
I say to people, you can't tell my story without the volunteering
Yeah.
experiences that has helped me to kind of share my what I can do and to even build my confidence that I can actually do that
Do
thing
it,
in a
yeah.
different location. So volunteering is a very key aspect,
Yes,
and
it
I
is.
keep just banging on it that, if you have an opportunity to volunteer, please take it and maximize it. Know why you're going into it and know what you want to get out of it.
Yeah.
Um, so thank you so much for sharing that. I know we're running on time. I'd say, okay, so if we go on to the third question then, which is around the top three things. So if you were going to say, okay, these are the top three things that I've learned all through my stay in the UK that I would want to share with other people to help them on their journey, what would those three things be? And I know we've talked about some things, so they might be part of the things you've already shared.
Yeah.
But what were those top three things? If you had the opportunity to talk to a group of people who have come into the UK, moved into the UK, and are trying to chart their way through all of the different things that they need to know and do, what
Hmm.
would those top three things be?
Firstly, it's difficult to coin everything to three because there's a lot of tips because you need a whole lot of ammunition to make your way in this UK. But I think having because the love of my life, my wife, we discuss a lot about these few things, and we are in that position. God has placed us in that position to advise people, and we
Mm,
always tell them, first of all, listen, you have to have focus about one particular thing
mm,
and have it in your mind. The Bible says, whatever you have in your mind, that's what God will do. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so easy. that passage just spells it out well. First of all, have a focus. Know what you want to do, then
Mm,
give everything that you can to it. And everything is going to flow out. For instance, volunteering is going to go into it because, like you rightly said, do things with passion,
mm,
not because of money every time. And the only way you can do that is when you do have a focus.
yeah.
I think, secondly, um, be current.
Mm,
There's so many things passing us by day on day, as in every day that we take for granted. But most importantly, be current. Find people that have been here before. Find people that that are living right, that you can get tips from. Ask questions. Oh my days. Ask questions. Ask questions. Ask a lot of questions. Ask, don't be shy.
mm,
Nobody came to this country and got running on day one. People
yes.
learned along the way. Ask questions.
And we're still learning.
And in fact, we're still learning. There's some few things that you'll be like, wow, really? Wow, I wish I knew that earlier. But time has gone. You know, thirdly, find a mentor.
Mm,
Find a mentor, in whatever you're doing. It's not, you can't be an island. You need to find somebody that is doing it, somebody that has done it before. Most of the time, I remember when I was trying to apply for a role in a company, um, I looked for people that I've worked that I've never even talked to on LinkedIn, that I know that I can approach, asking questions. I've got an interview. Is there anything, are you happy working in that company? Ask, find,
mm,
don't be shy to express courage to ask questions, even when
mm,
you're working. These people, as much as they want you to ask questions, as long as you're doing it, trying to do it yourself, whenever you're stuck, you're asking the questions like, okay, what is this? Not, not, "Oh, do you know what this is?" No, there's a difference in, this is what I've done. What do you think? How better? That way they know that, hang on, you're doing what you want to do. You're doing all your best to get to a particular answer, and they'll
mm.
be happy to teach you more, even in
Yeah.
the place of work. Yeah.
Yeah, so continuously improving,
Hmm.
So if I just replay that back to you, you've talked about having a focus. So what is it that
Mm.
you're trying to achieve
Mm.
and giving it your all?
Yeah.
The second thing is around being current, so
Yeah.
being aware of what are the current realities in the space
Mm.
that you want to play,
Exactly.
and don't be shy to ask questions,
No.
ask questions for clarification, ask
Mm.
questions to be able to progress, to be able to
Mm.
learn more, and then find a mentor, find someone who has done or who is doing what you want to
What
do
you
and learn
exactly.
from them. you
Mm.
know you can have several mentors in different things. You don't
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
have one
Sure.
mentor that knows everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The
find
more
a
the
mentor that
better.
can help you
The
that
better.
can help you with what it is that you're trying to achieve. And
Mm.
I know we've come up to time now, but thank you so, so, so much
Thank you very
for
much.
spending this very short time with us on this rainy Sunday evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you on this podcast, and thank you so much. You've shared
Yeah.
so much that I think the people listening to this are going to benefit from.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see that you came into the UK and started from what I would say like the beginning and grew up the
Mm.
ranks,
Mm.
because that's kind of um, the approach that many people have taken is they want to learn, what is it that I don't understand, so that when I get to those higher levels, I feel confident in the competence that I have. So thank you
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sharing your journey
Thank you
with
very much.
us and
Yeah.
the three tips. So at this point, we're going to say, is there any final words you want to
No,
share? You mentioned the
no.
name of your company. Can you just say that again so
Yeah.
people can?
Yeah. Yeah. Samel Group. That's
Samel.
it's the Samel Group and NISA. Creative.
Okay.
The interior decor. Samuel
Yeah.
Group is a quantity surveying firm. If you Google us, you see our website, you can see everything that we've done, to date and what is in the plan to do. Yeah, so yeah, feel
Yeah,
free
just
to
yeah,
message me.
just in
We're
case
on
there's anyone
Instagram,
listening
we're
and
on
thinking, oh, I
Twitter.
need a quantity surveyor or
Yeah,
an interior decorator, this is an opportunity to also link in
yeah,
into the
definitely.
services that you're providing. So
Yeah,
thank you so much for joining today, and thank you for sharing your experience.
thank
Until the next time, see you later.
you.
Bye. Uh,